What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I'm probably showing my age here because some of you all who are younger will be like, who in the hell is Joe Flaherty? Well, look, I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, which means that I saw a heavy, steady diet of reruns of sitcoms and shows from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And one of the funnier sketch comedy shows that I remember watching was the Canadian answer to Saturday Night Live. It's called Sctv. And Sctv featured a lot of comedians working on that program that would become stars during the 80s and into the 90s. People like Eugene Levy, people like Catherine O'Hara, John Candy was on that show. Harold Ramis was on that show. Rick Moranis was on that show. Trying to remember other cast members. Andrea Martin, Dave Thomas, the late Tony Rosato, excuse me. Robin Duke was on that show. But Joe Flaherty was one of the founders of SCTV. And unfortunately, he passed away this morning at the age of 82. A family member said that he had recently been undergoing a brief illness. And she said, quote, "My dad was an extraordinary man, known for his boundless heart and an unwavering passion for movies from the 40s and 50s. Joe Flaherty, who was born in Pittsburgh, spent 7 years at the Second City in Chicago before moving north of the border to help establish the theater's Toronto outpost. He went on to star alongside Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, and the late John Candy in SCTV about a fictional TV station known as Second City Television that was stacked with buffoons in front of and behind the cameras. Flaherty's characters included network boss Guy Caballero and the vampiric TV host Count Floyd. He won Emmys in 1982 and 1983 for his writing on SCTV and continued to work in TV and film for decades. He was introduced to later generations through memorable turns as a jeering heckler in the 1996 film Happy Gilmore and as an old-fashioned dad in the TV comedy Freaks and Geeks, which ran from 1999 to 2000. And I also remember Joe Flaherty being on a very unusual, short-lived series that came on the Family Channel. And I'm really going old school with this one. I think it aired in 1991. Does anybody remember Maniac Mansion? I remember him being on Maniac Mansion. I think it aired for like a couple of seasons in the early 1990s. And I believe it was even a video game based on that series. And anyway, I remember him being a character actor on making different guest appearances. The screenshot I used is him in a memorable turn as a as a very emotionally imbalanced dentist undergoing a divorce with his wife, who was the dentist from hell for Al Bundy and Married with Children. You know what I'm saying? He was a naturally funny guy, man. I saw that he passed away, so I want to do a little tribute video to him. You know. So anyway, those of you who remember watching SCTV or Joe Flaherty, tell me what you guys think.